Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
At first, can you just talk to me a little bit about this collaboration with Skrewball and just describe it to the audience?
This is the culmination of hip hop music, savory flavors, and liquor. It's how we spend the way to bring the party to this Thanksgiving, which is peanut butter whiskey and Young Gravy's music.
Yes, and when I think of whiskey, I think of country music, ironically, and you just put out a country album in August. Was there a little bit of a correlation between this collaboration and your newfound genre of music that you started in August?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked whiskey, but I definitely was drinking a lot more over the last few months of the album. And I was spending a lot of time in Nashville, and I had Screwball a lot more because of that. I think I had had it previously, but that was when I really indulged, and I was honored when this all worked out, and I could be a part of it. I also love peanut butter, just to start with, so
And when you talk
great
about
combo.
how this is bringing it to Thanksgiving too, the slogan for this is give thanks and get basted. Do you have a favorite Thanksgiving tradition, or what dish would you bring to Thanksgiving too?
So what I've been doing in my family for a while now is my dad was Swiss, and he taught me how to make fondue when I was younger. So I have a lot of friends over. I have a lot of good friends that don't really have a family, so we just all link up at my house and I make fondue. My mom is there too, but I'll probably have a baster filled with fondue, cheese or chocolate or both.
And what I watched the promotional video and it was so funny and it was really well directed. What was that process like for you? And what was also like the inspiration behind the baster with it in it and just everything that you did within that video? What was that look like for you?
It was cool from the jump. I think everybody was on the same page, and it was, let's make this as gravy as possible and screwball as possible, and they went pretty hand in hand. So I kind of just got to be myself and look extra cool. We just kind of added extra pizzazz to normal gravy type video, and vibes were great. I mean, it was super natural. I think most of the stuff we shot was just off the cuff, just
Yeah,
fun.
and you have a very well-known brand. Everyone kind of knows when everyone knows when they're listening to one of your songs. You have a really polarizing social media presence and everything like that. How did this brand come to be, and what was the inspiration behind everything that you've started since you started on SoundCloud to where you are now?
I've always been very conscious of branding with everything, and that's like if I wouldn't have gone and succeeded with music, I would have gone back to doing branding for other companies or starting another type of business. So that's just kind of my favorite, thing to nerd out about. And when I was able to market myself, I just really honed in on sort of my personality, but magnified a bit. And I wanted to make it so that I could just be myself and it would be, genuine and on brand, just be myself. And I love how it kind of came to be. And
Obviously, it's worked. You've grown to over 4 million Spotify listeners every month. Have you had like a pinch me moment throughout your career this far? And what did that look like for you being able to grow this big and this exponentially as well?
Martha Stewart and I did a collaboration and a commercial, and I got to, spend some time at her house. That was pretty amazing. And oh, and when Lil Wayne, my favorite rapper, um, I, s- I sent him a song, not expecting much because I was told that he doesn't really do features and he doesn't like anything. But then, like 10 hours later, he sent me back a verse, and that was the Oops remix. Only remix I ever dropped.
Well,
Mhm.
talking about collaborations as well, you collaborated with Zach Brown and Shania Twain on this new album. What did like the process look like going from what you did before to this new genre in country? What did that look like and those collaborations as well?
The vibe in the studio, I guess the vibe is could be similar. It's a fun sort of party vibe most of the time when I'm in the studio with other artists, but the environment is just different in a rap studio versus a country studio. They work much earlier in the day, and there's a lot more people in the studio that are all working together on country music. And there's a bunch of people kind of throwing in ideas, usually, especially in Nashville. And with hip hop, it's usually, late night, just a few people and neon lights and, yeah, delinquent activities. So I had a great time and it was really fun, like with Shania and with Zach Brown, I got to like stay at their houses for a couple of days and actually spend time with them and bond and, make music together while chilling. So I think it shows in the music.
Yeah, you can definitely tell in the product. I've listened to it and I think it is absolutely amazing too. And your tour, Grits and Gravy, is coming to an end at the end of this month. Can you just describe what this has meant for you and what has been the best moment of all of this?
It felt really good to be able to tour. Well, for I guess just the country album as a whole, I wanted to try something new and see if I was capable. And it ended up being just so fun to try something, new and challenging again after, I've always made new music and tried new things for the last 7 years, but it was a big change. And I was, it was cool to, do something that I wasn't sure I was capable of, and then actually touring with a band and being able to like play music, and we're actually making it live on stage rather than me just rapping over a beat. So that was cool to say, like, I felt like a real musician when sometimes I kind of don't know. And we really we really choreographed the whole show production wise to be, exactly what I wanted. So that was fun. And Gravy Fest is the last show is a hometown show in Minnesota in 10 days. I'm excited for that.
How is that gonna feel for you to be able to play in your hometown and do that with everyone else that's gonna be there?
I'm really hyped. I've the Armory is like the biggest, dopest venue in Minnesota, and I have sold it out twice before, but this is like a festival. I got Waka Flocka on there, Baby No Money, Freddie Dredd, and we don't really have a good Minnesota festival, so hopefully this works out and we keep it going and bring a festival back to Minnesota.
Did you ever like go see one of your favorite artists at that venue and had that person been an inspiration for you if you have?
Yes, I saw Mac Miller there and Wiz Khalifa, and that was a huge inspiration for me in high school. Yeah,
Wonderful. And you have
and
25, you did 25 shows on this North American tour. Would you say that the venue that you're playing at to end the tour is your dream venue, or if you had one, what would it be?
probably is the Armory. Yeah, I've just had every time that I've done it, it's been the best circumstances. Like I actually did it the Thanksgiving 2 years ago, and I got to perform at the Vikings stadium the same day, and my mom was there, and all my like best friends were there, so that was cute. And hopefully this year will be kind of similar.
I bet it's going to be wonderful and talking about your family and Thanksgiving and Screwball all in one kind of realm. What would you just describe this all in 3 words between your collaboration, Thanksgiving, and everything else? Just in 3 words, what would you describe it?
I say, screw the usual. We're gonna get saucy this year.
Yes. And
It's gonna be a
then
special Thanksgiving.
going into my final question, what is next for you? You're very polarizing on social media. You have millions of followers, millions of people watching your every move, and you did that genre switch. What should we expect next from you for the future of Young Gravy?
My plan is to rebrand into what the same thing, and I think that that's gonna be a nice. I've actually seen people commenting like, "Oh my God, he's not wearing a cowboy hat. Is he becoming a rapper again?" And I'm like, so I'm steering swiftly back into my original lane.
So you're gonna go back to Young Gravy, the rap, but you just wanted to try out country
Hmm.
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I might occasionally, put up more country stuff. If honestly, I do have a bunch of songs that did make the album, so probably at some point. But um, I think my heart, my genre at heart is rap and soul stuff. So going back to that.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down
Well,
with me. I
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.